Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the College of Law graduation ceremony. At this time, I would ask that you all stand.
Please be seated. Welcome to the 2025 commencement for the University of Wyoming College of Law. This is without a doubt the most joyous day in all of law school. I am Julie Hill, the Dean of the College of Law, and I'm grateful to each of you for joining us here today. Today we are celebrating 66 students. We're celebrating both their achievements during the last 3 years and the beginning of their careers in the law. In addition to the graduates and their families who have joined us today, I want to recognize some distinguished guests who are with us. We have from the University of Wyoming Board of Trustees, Kermit Brown, John McKinley, and Brad Bonner, all of whom are graduates of the College of Law. We also have our commencement speaker, Justice John Fenn of the Wyoming Supreme Court, also a graduate of the College of Law. We have with us our Senior Associate Dean, Alan Romero. He is not a graduate of the College of Law, but he has been a faculty member at the College of Law for more than 20 years. Later today, Dean Romero will be announcing the names of our College of Law graduates. We have 3 additional faculty members who will be placing the doctoral hoods on our graduates: Professor Jacqueline Bridgman, Professor Kip Coddington, and Professor James Delaney. We also have some guests from elsewhere on the university campus. We have Tara Evans from the UW General Counsel's Office. We have Dr. Gable Taggart, who will be helping hood our students who are also receiving the Master of Public Administration degree. And we have Jacob Halwerda, who will be helping hood the students who are receiving a Master's of Business Administration degree. And then we have our own faculty member, Temple Stollinger, from the College of Law and the Hobbs School, who will be helping hood our students who are receiving the Energy, Environmental, and Natural Resources certificate. Also behind me, we have the esteemed faculty of the College of Law. I know that they are as excited as everyone else to see our students on this momentous occasion. But of course, our most honored guests today are the members of the class of 2025. Individually and collectively, they have accomplished so much in the last 3 years. To earn a law degree, law students must complete 90 credit hours of coursework. Our accrediting body, the American Bar Association, requires 42.5 hours of student work for each credit hour earned. That means that our students each spent at least 3,825 hours of work to arrive here at this celebration today. That's the equivalent of working nonstop 24 hours a day for 160 days. At some points in their law school careers, I bet our students felt like that's exactly what they were doing. But law school, of course, is not just about long hours in the classroom and in the library. Our students today have achieved some remarkable success during their 3 years of law school. In recognition of the hands-on learning that we provide, this year the College of Law opened our new addition to our building, the Alan K. Simpson Center for Clinical and Experiential Learning. We hope that if you have a few minutes today, you'll take some time to have a look at where your law students spent so much of their time. The Simpson Center illustrates the College of Law's commitment to excellence in experiential education, and these students sitting on the stage today have achieved that excellence. We have students who have already won jury trials. We have students that have argued and won cases before the Wyoming Supreme Court. We have students who have written and published scholarly articles. Our students have competed and won all sorts of scholarly competitions, including competitions for negotiations, voir dire, the Natural Resources Moot Court Competition, and the International Moot Court Competition. Our students have also participated in field courses in Yellowstone, in Cambridge, England, in the Colorado River Basin, in Chile, and on the Wind River Reservation. I could go on and on and on about the wonderful accomplishments of these students, but mostly you guys came to take pictures. Many of these achievements have been cataloged in our press releases or on our social media, but I want the students to know, and everyone here today to know, that these students have achieved important achievements that would never make it to a university press release. For example, many of our students learned the value of being self-directed when part of their higher education was moved online because of a global pandemic. Later in law school, these students learned to be able to focus on what was important, even when it seemed like maybe possibly there was someone jackhammering in the law school building. I have watched our students work very hard to clean up problems that they did not create. They understand the value of being community-minded and of leaving a place better than they found it. Our students have learned to laugh at unexpected inconveniences, like plumbing difficulties in the building. And I think that keeping a sense of humor is very important. I've seen students work hard, even when they have faced setbacks and wanted to give up. Probably every member of the class has been disappointed at one point or another in law school. One of our students battled her way back from a near-fatal injuries in an automobile accident. I want you to know these students up here have grit. And I've watched these students take time to help one another and perform small acts of service that will never make a university press release or even a line on their resume. Class of 2025, I want you to know that I am just as proud of you for these accomplishments as I am for the accomplishments that are sometimes more heralded. I believe that these are the sorts of characteristics that will transform you from competent attorneys into really great attorneys. If you remember nothing else from law school, I want you to remember that these qualities and their importance: self-direction, focus, community-mindedness, humor, grit, and kindness will take you far in the law and in life. And if that's not too much to remember, also remember the rule against perpetuities. It states that the interest in property must vest within the life and being plus 21 years. You all learned that, right? Well, if not, Dean Romero will be holding a tutorial at the reception later after this ceremony. Of course, I'm just kidding. In our new law school building, there is a quote from U.S. Senator Alan K. Simpson that sums up our highest aspiration for each member of the class of 2025. It states, "If you have integrity, nothing else matters. If you don't have integrity, nothing else matters." It is my pleasure today to introduce you to a student who exemplifies the qualities that will make a great attorney, Jang-Han J. Lee. Each year, our outstanding law graduate is chosen by the third-year class to be the class commencement speaker. Yes, this year the class chose Jay, because Jay has left an important mark on the College of Law. Among his many achievements, he co-founded our Blockchain Law and Innovation Club and has served as an elected member of the John Berman Student Bar Association. But when I asked some of Jay's classmates why they selected Jay to be the speaker today, here is what they said. "He is supportive of everyone else. He helped me when I had a hard day. Jay exemplifies true friendship. He's always willing to help, even if it's late and he is tired. He is the best listener. He is never too busy to drive you to the airport.
Oh.
He is a selfless person, and my personal favorite, he is the kind of person that I want to be." We are honored today to have some of Jay's family visiting us from South Korea, and we are honored today to hear from Jay Lee. Jay?
Let's go. Hi, good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you, Dean Hill, faculty, staff, and distinguished guests, and most importantly, family and friends who travel thousands of miles to be here. And literally, that's my case in my family. And there was a jet lag, there was a time zone difference. So sorry in advance for any awkwardness. Professor Smith did not look at this speech, so if things go sideways, this is raw, unfiltered Jay. Maybe filtered, a little bit. Okay, so it is tremendous honors to speak on behalf of the class of 2025. Today we celebrate an extraordinary milestone, and I'll try to keep this speech short, or at least not longer than the bar prep anxiety. So before law school, I was in the marketing field, analyzing big data, and trying to convince myself that pivot table was fulfilling. But spoiler, they weren't. I did not know if law school was my escape plan or calling. I kept asking myself, can I succeed in this field? What happens if this is not the right path for me? I know law was demanding, but also prestigious and lucrative. But I also knew that being a lawyer had to do with more than making money and having an unhealthy relationship with coffee, Red Bulls, free food, and alcohol. Alcohol? Oh, actually, one of the voices that helped me through the uncertainty was my father. He told me, never give up, be a good person regardless of the result, and one day, the good thing will come to you. And at first, this advice did not resonate well with me. Because, shouldn't result always matter? If I bomb an exam or I lose a case, how's that good? Clients don't exactly high-five you for the effort. And if there's a client like that, please be my client. But now, 3 years later, I get it, to a certain extent at least. Law school isn't just about the result. It's about growth. It's about learning. It's about striving for more. It's about community. And I believe that community here at the University of Wyoming College of Law meets all of those. Life isn't a test you take once, hopefully pass, and walk away from. It's a journey. Sometimes it's long, sometimes it's short, sometimes it's long and short at the same time. It's unpredictable, it's messy, and it's strangely beautiful. And my father was reminding me not to focus on the where I'm going there, but how I was going. Things like character matters, effort matters, integrity matters. And if we stick with those things, yes, good things will come eventually, someday. As former Wyoming U.S. Senator Alan Simpson once said, Dean Hill said it, but I guess it's a repeat. If you have integrity, nothing else matters. If you don't have integrity, nothing else matters. The lesson really sank during in my 1L year, especially during finals, when I feel like I didn't know what the hell I was doing at all. To this day, I still do not know what a rule against perpetuity is. And honestly, if you do, please keep that to yourself. Actually, come and find me. I need a tutor for bar. But I still kept going. Early mornings, late nights, long weekends, and Quimby, our unofficial study buddy, moral support, and even a therapist. While it feels like at times law school was never about being perfect, it was about persistence. I made mistakes, and so did maybe everyone else here. Then I learned from it, and I think everyone else did here too. That's the real victory, not getting everything right, but refusing to give up. Someone once told me, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And I believe that. None of us did alone. All 66 students did it together here. And I counted this yesterday, so it should be right. We relied on our classmates, our friends, our families, and sometimes even strangers on Reddit. These memories, these people, these connections, they are what last. And look, we learned some important lessons, like time management, which mostly means you're pretending to be busy while internally panicking and rescheduling everything to tomorrow. But more importantly, we learned that stress management is just crucial. It's okay to cry in your car. It's okay to ask for help. And yes, it's okay to take a nap instead of outlining one more chapter on Constitutional Law 1. Take care of your mind. Your clients need you to be sane. And let me admit something. I'm still learning how to manage my time and stress and return calls promptly. I'm not always a good neighbor like State Farm, but I try. I keep trying. That's what counts. I was actually recently told by one of the staff, Laurie, which I call her second mom, that our class is special. And for a second, I thought, what does that even mean? Does that mean challenging or loud? But then I realized she meant it. We brought something unique to this school. It wasn't just the location. It wasn't just Wyoming. It was us. Our humor, our passion, our stubborn refusal to let law school crush our complete souls. We're a special class, and I'm proud to be one of you guys, even if that means I'm part of a group that owns too many highlighters and knows way too much about FIFA. So to my classmates, take a moment today, breathe, reflect on how far you have come, on what you have accomplished, on the fact that you have actually understand what Chevreau deference means, and more importantly, that you survived law school in the era of cold calls, group chats, and finals that make you question your life choices. Be proud of yourself. You earned this. To our professors, thank you for your wisdom, your mentorship, and your patience, especially when we ask questions with answers clearly printed on the syllabus. You did not just teach us legal doctrine. You taught us how to think critically, act ethically, and advocate fiercely. We are better because of you. And to the friendship we made along the way, as my dear friend Jacob Lirio once told me, there are good ships and old ships, ships that sail the sea, but the best ships are friendships. May they always be. And now, I'll leave with you the immortal words of the movie Legally Blonde. We did it. Congratulations, class of 2025. Let's go out there, do good, have fun, and object when necessary, and hopefully rule against perpetuity in some point in our legal career. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay, for your remarks and for your service to your classmates. In addition to selecting a student speaker, students also select an outstanding faculty member. I'd like to invite this year's John Berman Student Bar Association President Connor Campbell to the podium to introduce this year's outstanding faculty member.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Connor Campbell. I'm the current president of the John Berman Student Bar Association. And it is my honor today to introduce to y'all someone who, of course, these grads need no introduction for, the one, the only, Professor Kip Coddington. Kip Coddington was a practitioner of law in Washington, D.C. for more than count 'em, 2 decades at firms Covington and Burling and Alston and Bird. This includes a brief stint in London, England, UK to help Alston and Bird launch its office there. He went on to co-found a boutique environmental law firm, leading its Washington office. A decade ago, count 'em 10, he moved to Laramie, Wyoming, often lovingly referred to as the London, England of the Mountain West, in order to work for the UW School of Law, or rather, School of Energy Resources, before joining the College of Law 2 years ago. At the College of Law, he directs the EENR Clinic and teaches courses such as admin law, environmental law, and law and tech. I, like presumably many of y'all out there, have never actually taken any of these classes, but I do have friends that do, and they can attest, from what I've heard from them, literally never ever has Kip Coddington wronged them in any sort of way, so I can only assume that the man must be doing at least a little something correct. Kip has a BS in chemical engineering from Purdue, with highest distinction, an outstanding senior engineer, I might add, and a JD from Georgetown, magna cum laude, Order of the Coif. So, enough of my jabbering. Everyone, Professor Kip Coddington.
So Connor, thank you for those very kind words. Now to the important part, class of 2025, welcome to the legal profession. Never forget that being an attorney, a lawyer, is a profession. There are many different definitions of profession, but I think we all intuitively know what a profession is. A profession typically requires specialized skills and knowledge, and that means lots of education. Other attributes of a profession include third-party oversight or licensing and compliance with ethical codes or standards. There are many professions, of course, lawyers, doctors, accountants, and engineers among them. Lawyers are unique among the professions, however, in at least one critical respect. Lawyers play a key role in upholding the rule of law. You've heard of the rule of law a lot over the past 3 years. We all have an intuitive sense that it is important, perhaps even the glue that holds society together, and which is encoded in the DNA of documents such as the Magna Carta, the Declaration of Independence, and the US Constitution. But what exactly is the rule of law? Curiously, there is no agreed upon definition. The American Bar Association characterizes it as a set of, quote, principles or ideals essential for maintaining an orderly and just society. These ideals include no individual or entity is above the law, equality under the law for all, the necessity of holding everyone accountable to the same laws, clear and fair processes for enforcing laws, an independent judiciary, and the guarantee of human rights for all individuals. These ideals sound well and good. Indeed, they may even have a motherhood and apple pie aspect to them. But the notion of rule of law turns out to be a slippery thing, and not merely because it lacks an agreed upon definition. For starters, of course, the rule of law is memorialized in law, and that means language. And language is by definition ambiguous. A classic Buddhist text from about 2,000 years ago regarding cosmology and human existence says this about written language, and I quote, "Individual letters are the components of words. Groups of words form sentences. If examined, words and sentences do not capture the essence, but are deceptive," end quote. This enduring ambiguity, and perhaps even potential deceptiveness of language, is the main reason why lawyers earn a living, of course. Unfortunately, these slippery attributes of language mean that language can also be misused or intentionally misinterpreted. And with artificial intelligence, of course, language is already becoming even more slippery. Additionally, the rule of law is fragile. For evidence, just look at the tortured history of human civilization. I commend to you Sir John Glubb's 1978 classic, a paper entitled The Fate of Empires and Search for Survival, which, after discussing the common attributes of countries in decline, notes that the average lifespan of an empire, which of course is governed by laws, over all of recorded history, and this includes the United States, is 250 years. In your spare time, you can do the math of 1776 plus 250 years. So that leaves all of you with the difficult mission of upholding this precious thing, this thing called the rule of law, that lacks an agreed upon definition, is encoded in ambiguous language, and is ephemeral. And if you fail in that task, civil society apparently becomes unglued. Not to put you under any pressure, mind you. What can you do to play your part in upholding the rule of law after you walk out these doors shortly? I humbly offer the following ideas. First, in large part because of the fluidity of language, always act with honor and integrity and interpret the law accordingly. Ethical conduct is the foundation upon which the rule of law rests. Second, never forget your critical role in keeping the rule of law alive. Zealously advocate on behalf of your clients, of course, but not at the risk of undermining civil society. Advocacy can only go so far. Never advance a position on behalf of a client that is dishonorable, no matter how much they offer to pay you. Never represent a client if it puts your personal integrity at risk or the representation would, in your judgment, undermine the rule of law. And never agree to represent a client if your ulterior motive is gaining influence or status on social media. Long ago, a mentor gave me the following words of wisdom. Kip, the best client you ever had may be the client you decline to represent. I took that advice a few times over my career and never regretted it. Third, always remember that you and your fellow lawyers are, at the end of the day, on the same team. You and your teammates serve this precious thing called the rule of law. The lawyer sitting across the table from you or on the other side of the courtroom may be your nominal opponent at that moment, but at the end of the day, you are on the same team. Never forget that. Fourth and finally, always act with great compassion for your fellow travelers on this planet. Everybody is suffering in his or her own way, and everything is impermanent. I always thought that the existence of the rule of law was premised on those two enduring truths. Suffering is endemic, and everything, including society itself, is impermanent. People suffer, and societies come and go. In a nutshell, that basically sums up the history of the world. Your task as lawyers is to recognize these facts and act accordingly. Lawyers must understand that the rule of law can vanish, and quickly. It must never be taken for granted. Lawyers must also deeply appreciate individual and collective human suffering in its many forms and mitigate it through a position of compassion to the best of their ability. I always viewed lawyers as being in the end suffering business. Unfortunately, many lawyers view themselves instead of being in the business of going to war for their clients. Comparing the practice of law to going to war is deeply misguided and leads to a degradation of the rule of law, in my opinion. Indeed, war is what results when the law is broken down. So in all moments, the lawyer has to have deep compassion and act accordingly, at least if civil society is to endure. To paraphrase a saying from the 60s, make law, not war. Again, to the class of 2025, congratulations on arriving at this day. It is no minor feat, and you and your loved ones should be proud. The job ahead of you is quite important. Indeed, it may even be vital. Your job, if you choose to accept it, is to uphold the rule of law, and hopefully that is not an impossible mission. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Coddington. I think you can all see why he's popular with our students. Next, we will be privileged to hear from this year's commencement speaker, Justice John Fenn. Justice Fenn was sworn in as a justice of the Wyoming Supreme Court in 2022. Before his appointment to the Supreme Court, Justice Fenn served as a district court judge in the 4th Judicial District in Sheridan from 2007 to 2021. He holds an undergraduate degree and a law degree from the University of Wyoming. When Justice Fenn was once asked what he loved most about Wyoming, he noted that there was a lot to love. He grew up here, he received his education here, he raised his family here, and spent most of his professional life here. He noted that Wyoming had offered him many professional opportunities, but what he said that he loved most about Wyoming was the people in our open spaces. I can attest that Justice Fenn indeed has a deep love for our University of Wyoming College of Law students. He is a regular visitor to the College of Law, where he often judges our competitions, provides guest lectures, and otherwise just mentors our students. We are grateful for his support and thankful to have him with us today. Justice Fenn.
Good morning, Dean Hill, trustees, staff, and faculty, friends and family. Especially, I want to thank you for being here and supporting these graduates, and most importantly, the graduates of 2025. It's truly a great honor to speak here today. It caused me to think back. 32 years ago, I was sitting in the same chairs that you are sitting in today, and I couldn't have imagined the path that took me from that moment to this moment. I had no idea about becoming a lawyer when I was younger. I had never met a lawyer until I was a senior in high school. I came to the University of Wyoming and I studied engineering. I graduated and left the state. Left the state for a number of years and pursued an engineering career, got a graduate degree in engineering, got my professional engineering license, and was becoming an engineer. And then I was involved in some litigation relating to construction law and issues and utility issues, and the law bug bit me. And so I was missing Wyoming, and I decided to come back to the University of Wyoming and go to law school. And it has been a great career for me and a great opportunity. There were a number of things when I was sitting there 32 years ago, in my mind I was thinking, what kind of lawyer do I want to be? I had no interest in being a judge. I couldn't have fathomed being a justice on the Wyoming Supreme Court 32 years ago. So I want to take some time and talk to you about some things I think you should be as young graduates. First, you should be fearful. Being a lawyer is nothing but a series of fearful events. Fear of getting into law school, fear of getting called on in class, fear of passing that exam, fear of graduating, fear of passing the bar exam, fear of getting a job, fear of getting your first client, fear of your first appearance in court, fear of speaking to a law school graduating class 32 years later. The remedy for that fear is be prepared. If you ask any group of judges what's the number one thing you can do, you most often hear, be prepared. And being prepared is one of the most important things you can do as a lawyer. And there's no question that hard work, rolling up your shirt sleeves, and doing the work, even at the expense of other aspects of your life, is part of being a lawyer. Another important part of being prepared is learning how to prepare. And that's something that comes with experience. In my view, I learned after law school how to be organized. You have to be an organized person in order to be a good lawyer. Be a doer. Everything in life that's worth doing, you should do, and you'll learn from it. Most of my experiences and lessons have come by doing. Be a doer. Be a leader. By virtue of your education, you will be asked to be a leader in many roles, whether that's on local boards, school boards, coach of the Little League team, trustees of the school. And I would have to note that John McKinley here, trustee, I've known for 50 years. I went to high school with him. And both he and I would have never imagined that we'd be here today, but I knew that John was a leader. And after graduating law school, and your education is going to give you opportunities to be a leader, welcome those opportunities. Be wise. You've spent the last 3 years learning all kinds of knowledgeable things, such as the rules against perpetuities, Shelley's Law, the Duhigg Rule, Re ipsa loquitur, collateral estoppel, and res judicata. And for you folks out in the audience today, don't worry if you don't know what I'm talking about. Graduates, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you better get busy because the bar exam is coming. Be happy. There's probably no more profound language about being happy than in our Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Those among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The pursuit of happiness is such a broad and direct language. It's something that each of you get to decide whether you're happy or not. It's not defined, it's a state of mind, and it's something that you determine for yourself. Never give it up. And I'm reminded of a high school teacher that I had that was the happiest person I knew. He was a fairly young teacher, a new teacher. He was an assistant football coach and a shop teacher. And this guy was happy no matter what happened around him. He was happy putting snow chains on in a blizzard. His happiness was infectious. And that young teacher now has had a 30-year career in education, has been recognized by the Wyoming Coaches Association, distinguished alumni of his college, and has been recognized as a leader throughout his community and the state. And I'm sure that what has been his success is his happiness. Whenever I get down, I just have to think of him, and I get happy again, and that state of mind has seen me through. Be a mentor or be a mentee. You are lucky to be in Wyoming, where they have some of the greatest mentors available to you, with simply a phone call. Wyoming is unique in that respect. I've had the privilege of knowing and being mentored by some of the greatest attorneys in the state. And now I get to mentor some of you. And it has been a great pleasure to work with you, be a mentor to you, and have you be externs and work with you through the law school. Be lucky. Life always has a measure of luck. Hard work often creates that luck, but nonetheless, accept that luck. You've already been bestowed with exceptional good luck by graduating from the University of Wyoming and being here in the United States and this time and this place. You are lucky. You're also lucky as you begin your climbing in your career. I want to remind you that you are lucky to be here in Wyoming because you are the highest elevated law school in the nation. At 7,220 feet, you're getting a head start from every other graduate in the United States in your career. Be frugal. Live within your means. There's nothing more difficult than balancing the checkbook when you're a lawyer. It's dangerous to be in financial trouble as a lawyer because you have clients that are relying on you and depend upon your objective observations and work, and it shouldn't be motivated by your needs, financial needs. So be frugal. There will be opportunities that come up, and if you put yourself in a financial position to take advantage of those opportunities, you'll be well served. Be yourself. The first lawyer I ever had any exposure to, I was a senior in high school. And I went to school in a little town called Big Piney, Wyoming, and Pinedale was the county seat and the cross-county rival to us. And in the fall of 1979, the murder trial of Ed Cantrell was being conducted in the tiny courtroom in Pinedale, Wyoming. And us students that were seniors got to go on a bus and go watch part of the trial. The defense counsel in that case was none other than the very famous and very capable Jerry Spence. And Jerry Spence wore a 10-gallon hat and buckskin tasseled jacket and cowboy boots, and he had kind of long, starting to silver hair, and he had this baritone voice, and he was just mesmerizing. He was really an effective lawyer. He was the real deal. So when I got to law school, I thought, I want to be Jerry Spence. And I got out practicing, and I saw a lot of people, including myself, if we tried to emulate Jerry Spence, it just didn't happen. I would look ridiculous in a 10-gallon hat and tassel buckskin jacket. So I learned early on to be yourself. Learn from others, but always be yourself. Be the difference. As lawyers, you will have an opportunity to make a difference in people's lives in a remarkable way. When I was a new judge, I had a particularly difficult contested adoption that was in front of me, and ultimately I ruled in favor of the mother and adoptive father and signed an adoption for this then fairly young boy, the adoption. And I remember the case, but I didn't pay much attention to it, and 10 years later, I received this card in the mail. I want to read it to you. Dear Honorable Judge Finn, November 30th marks the 10th year anniversary of the signing of our adoption decree. You may not remember us, the young family from Oregon, but you hold a special place in our hearts. I wanted to take the time to say thank you and give you an update. 10 years in, we still celebrate the day with our family and friends as Double A Day, Awesome Adoption Day. By your signature, you have kept our family safe, no longer being stalked, scared, or fearful. That day in court was the last day our family had contact with our abuser. Thank you so much. Our son is pretty amazing. He graduated from high school, then took a 3-month trip to the Philippines and Thailand. We are a happy active family, but more importantly, we are safe and a healthy family. Thank you for the gift of your signature 10 years ago. We are truly grateful today, tomorrow, and all our days ahead. May love and light bless you and your family. I can think of no greater reward as being a lawyer than making a difference. As lawyers, you get to make a difference. Finally, class of 2025, be awesome. I can't wait to see what you do. Congratulations.
Thank you, Justice Fenn, for those inspiring words. And now I think we're to what is probably the most anticipated part of the program, the hooding of our Juris Doctor candidates. As I mentioned earlier, the candidates will be introduced by Senior Associate Dean Alan Romero and will be hooded by Professors Kip Coddington, Jacqueline Bridgman, and James Delaney. For students receiving additional degrees, our hooders will be assisted by Professor Temple Stollinger, Professor Gable Taggart, and Professor Jacob Holwerda. Dean Romero.
Amanda Adam. Graduating with honors. Cody Adamson. Graduating with honors, Reed Allen. Graduating with honors, Mary Bennett. Also receiving a Master of Business Administration degree, Griffin Bain. Graduating with honors, Madison Brigham. Graduating with honors, Brandon Calloway. Tia Cho. Graduating with honors, Kristen Cavello. Casey Delos. Morgan Erickson. Gwen Fellows. Matthew Flaherty. Mitchell Fote. Michelle Gainey. Nicholas Garcia. Graduating with honors, Samantha Goddard. Graduating with honors, Miles Gilbert. Gage Graham. Garrett Gwynn. Graduating with honors, Parker Hamill. Graduating with honors, Emily Harmon. Chandler Helvey. Graduating with honors, Sarah Horsley. Graduating with honors and also receiving a Master of Arts in Environment and Natural Resources, Sam Johnson. Graduating with honors, Lainey Jones. Noah Jones. Also receiving a Master of Business Administration degree, Eileen Kim. Paris Lambert. Janghan J. Lee. Graduating with honors, Jacob Lewis. Also receiving a Master of Business Administration degree, Jacob Lirio. Brianna Logan. Graduating with honors, Aline Leidick. Kayla Lyons. Also receiving a Master of Business Administration degree, Joey Madsen. Adeline Major. Graduating with honors, Dylan Machete. Haley Mathers. Graduating with honors, Jael Morset. Graduating with honors, Haley Morton. Mark Pabst. Graduating with honors, Ethan Pattison. Molly Pickrell. Dakota Reeves. Graduating with honors and also receiving a Master of Public Administration degree, Matthew Reekins. Graduating with honors, Davin Rourke. Also receiving a Master of Business Administration degree, Ana Rodriguez. Chad Rosenblum. Graduating with honors, J.C. Rudloff. Graduating with honors, Carly Salas. Sofia Salgado Cisneros. Graduating with honors, Bennett Smith. Daniel Su. Jaden Stiebritz. Graduating with honors, Anthony Stoder. Russell Styler. Graduating with honors, Emma Sunnis. Ailish Tanner. Chris Thomas. Sally Thomas. Graduating with honors, James Weck. Graduating with honors, Alex Wendland. Warren Wood.
Wasn't that inspiring? But don't worry, we're not quite done yet. I'd like to invite Board of Trustees Chairman Kermit Brown to the podium to confer the degrees.
Well, thank you, Dean Hill. And if we're talking about years, it was 52 years ago that I sat there. And it hasn't changed all that much. But I just want to say a few words to the parents and grandparents. You have so much invested in this, and it's your university. We try to operate it for your benefit. This is what we do. This is the product that we produce. And when you reflect on that, what is there? Somewhere in there is probably a governor. Somewhere in there is a CEO of a corporation. There are county attorneys, district attorneys, U.S. senators, state legislators, school board members, all those things that help our society. And somewhere in there, I always want to give credit, somewhere in there is a person who's going to devote their life to representing the down and the downtrodden and the poor. And those who really need legal representation may be the worst. And some of them will do that. So what do they all have in common? They all have in common one thing that we heard so eloquently expressed today, and that's the backbone of this country, the rule of law. And they will, in whatever pursuit that they follow, I hope they will take the words I heard today seriously, because it is the backbone, and the survival of our country is totally dependent on the rule of law. So, will the candidates for Juris Doctorate degrees please rise? Upon the recommendation of the faculty, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the trustees of the University of Wyoming, I confer upon you the Juris Doctor degree in course. You may now throw your tassels to the other side.
Before we conclude our ceremony today, I want to offer just a few thank yous. I'd like to thank Punch Williams for our music today. I'd like to thank the College of Law staff who made this ceremony happen. Tim Crawford took the laboring oar. But he was also assisted by Lori Kemper, Lisa Nunley, Michelle Anderson, Kristen Lanowet, and Ryan Harper. I think all of the graduates know that those are the people that really make things happen at the law school, and we'd be remiss not to recognize them. I'd also like to thank the student volunteers who helped keep us organized today. I know that they're going to be looking forward to this event next year. And as I look out over the family and friends who have joined us today, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for lending these students to us and to the study of law for the last 3 years. It has been a genuine pleasure having them here. I want to thank you for being there for them when law school was difficult. I want to thank you for seeing the good and the potential in them and for encouraging them. I want to thank you for reminding them that there is more to life than law school. And I want to thank you for helping and encouraging them to develop the kind of characteristics that will transform them from competent attorneys into really good attorneys. And finally, I want to thank the members of the class of 2025, the graduates. On behalf of both the faculty and the staff at the College of Law, we want you to know that we will miss you. We look forward to following your careers and your successes. We hope you will come back and visit us. And please bring your family and friends to our reception at the College of Law lobby immediately following the ceremony. Again, congratulations, graduates, and go Pokes.